And the headline reads, Mac, it's official. This is the worst Dallas Cowboys offseason of the century, Mac?
Name me one. Yeah, I was thinking about this yesterday, Kevin, and I can't think of a headline. I can't think of, we're almost at 4 months in, right? We're almost at April. And I went back to January 1. Think about how negative it's all been.
Yeah.
And I, you know, God bless the Cowboys. I know you guys are the flagship. They let you guys say whatever you want to say. For my 3 years there, there's only one time, Sean, that they said, yeah, don't ask that question. Everything else, it's been fair game.
Yeah.
Not everybody does that. We saw with the Washington Commanders.
Yes.
Their flagship station saying, oh, thank God we can talk about the Commanders now. no longer affiliated with them.
Right.
So, but I looked at really, when I looked at just like a day-by-day timeline, you know, they beat the Eagles on January 8th. They lost 2 out of their 3 games, right? They blamed the officials for basically 2 of the 3 losses, which is terrible. Dak Prescott sits there and endorses fans throwing junk at officials after the San Francisco game. He has to come out and apologize. You've got a PR director who retires. No big deal. 2 weeks later, there's this horrible story about him being accused of voyeurism, which he denied.
Yep.
But the Cowboys have to throw a $2.5 million check at 4 cheerleaders. Dak Prescott has another surgery. The Cowboys trade a wide receiver that they used the number 1 pick on back in 2018 in exchange for a 5th because the coaching staff doesn't like him, right? Then they give all this money to a guy who tore his ACL on January 2nd. Michael Gallup's not going to be ready for camp, right? Tank Lawrence is their best pass rusher. He comes back, that's a highlight. Jerry Jones gets named in a, Springer-like lawsuit. Randy Gregory, whom the Cowboys stuck by despite the fact that he had done nothing for them for years, gives them the middle finger, right, on a flip. Then they've got to cut Lyle Collins because the coaching staff didn't like him. But they kept their punter.
Mac, why is Stephen Jones the Alan Greenspan of the NFL?
That's a great one-liner, by the way.
Thank you very much. Because it's so, we see all these teams talk about, we're in cap hell, and then they go out and they trade for Tyreek Hill, or they make these giant moves and add this big contract. I know the salary cap is a real thing, and I've talked to Stephen Jones, whom I like a lot, and he has come to admit and embrace the idea, if you're going into free agency, that means you're overspending on that player because you made a big mistake 2 or 3 years ago. Okay, that's fine. That's sound philosophy.
Yeah.
And are you getting any better? The Dallas Cowboys today on March 25th, are they any better today, Sean?
No
than
way.
They were on. Okay.
And no one, not even the biggest Homer fan. I mean, not even Mickey Spagnuolo would make that kick. Mickey might. Mickey might, but
he'd try.
Yeah, he would try. But I don't think anyone would say that. They all say it's early. It's early.
Oh, I know. And are they going to? There's nobody left that they're going to get off the street that's going to make him any better. The only thing that's going to make him any better, they think Dak Prescott is as good as Aaron Rodgers, that they can put pretty good players around him and he'll make them great, and they'll win 10 or 11, 12 games. And the NFC East still is garbage.
Yes. And the NFC.
Yeah. It absolutely baffles me just how bad this division remains. And if you're like, well, where's our...
Mac, the greatest stat right now in sports, the most embarrassing, 17 straight years without a back-to-back division winner in that division.
There you go.
That
was it. There you go. And so do you think the Cowboys are going to break that streak? Yeah, they might. No, seriously, who's better than them, right? Who could unseat them?
Right.
The Eagles?
The Giants are the one team to me, Mac, that does give me pause. Not necessarily
the Giants are the 4th.
Well, hold on now. They got Wink Martindale's their new defensive coordinator. Defensively, they've always been, decent. The major question is at quarterback with Daniel Jones. Can Brian Dable do something with Daniel Jones? If he can't, then I'm not worried about the Giants. But I do think Wink Martindale is going to make a big difference defensively for them. That could give them trouble.
But Mac, what's keeping me awake is why. We got to it's not really. It's no, my freaking kid's keeping me awake. But but what? Look, they love they love relevancy. They want to contend. Why is this happening? I've never been here in 11 years covering an off season with such an intended step backwards. Why do you think it's happening?
Because the last guy they really went in big on,
Brandon Carr,
was Brandon Carr, and they made a trade for Roy Williams, right? I think that was before you got here. Mm-hmm. They traded for the Lions, Roy Williams, and it didn't really work out. And the only thing I can think of is two things. I think Steven is in charge more than ever, which would make sense. Jerry's getting up there, and that would make sense that Steven would be more in charge. And I really do believe that he has embraced the philosophy of, if we're going to be good, we have got to do this from within. Kind of like you build a minor league baseball or a baseball team through your minor league system, which is we're going to do this through the draft, and we're not going to go out and make these big, giant off-season additions. Like, you think about it, when the Cowboys signed when Jerry Jones signed Deion Sanders, he got into a fight with his dad over it. Stephen Jones got into a fight with his dad over it.
Yeah.
And so it's just a different philosophy, and I do believe Jerry would set fire to anything in order to make it better, whereas Stephen is far more conservative. And that's just what we're watching. And the only thing that gives me pause when I look at some of these moves, are they really catastrophic?
I mean, you can make the case. You can make the case for all of them, I guess. The one that's ticked people off the most is Amari. Like, why is Amari Cooper really not here?
Because they didn't like him. They just didn't like him. He was in Oakland for 52 games. He was with the Cowboys for 56 games. Look at the coaches that he played for: Jack Del Rio, John Gruden, Jason Garrett, and Mike McCarthy. 3 of those 4, Sean, are your classic coachy coach, tough guy, testosterone, football hard guys. Jason Garrett's a little bit more cerebral.
What was your character? That's who they were. Football!
Football! Oh, that's right. I forgot about that.
Great character.
That's it. So, and I think they just didn't like him.
Oh, was it Mac McShay?
It was Mel McShay.
Mel McShay.
That's a good one. Thank you.
Yes.
So I just don't think they liked him and the contract, and so now he's gone. And I don't blame you. I'm like, you gave up a 1 to get him, and he's here for 56 games. Like, he wasn't even here the duration of the length of a 5-year contract that a rookie would get. Yeah. And it's not like he's old, and they dumped him for a 5th-round pick. And now the Chiefs get 50 picks for Tyreek Hill.
Yeah.
Right? Like, you got a 5 for this guy? That's it?
Last one, Mac Engel, Fort Worth Star-Telegram. I don't believe that they believe it yet. Do you believe that they believe Dak is good enough to carry them like this?
Man, I don't know, because, I might have been, I don't know if I was on the show still with you guys when they made the trade for Amari Cooper. Go back and look at Dak Prescott's productivity that season before they got Amari Cooper and after they got Amari Cooper.
It was the worst in franchise history.
Yeah, you remember that?
Yeah.
I mean, it was like Dak was just okay, and then he gets Amari Cooper, a legit number 1, and all of a sudden they take off. They beat the Seahawks in the playoffs. They get run out of the building in L.A. against the Rams in the divisional round. But, I mean, there was a clear line of demarcation between pre-Amari and post-Amari, and the impact he made on Dak was irrefutable, right? You couldn't, the numbers just screamed at you.
He saved the season.
He did. Yeah,
he saved the season.
It was a great, and the Cowboys got this credit. So if they believe it, and we love Dak, he's a great guy. I want to see him succeed. But I'm like, you know what? He ain't Aaron Rodgers. Aaron Rodgers could take you or me and give me 50 catches.
Yeah.
I don't know about this. So CeeDee Lamb, Michael Gallup, Godspeed on getting healthy, and Dalton Schultz, and a banged-up older Ezekiel Elliott behind an offensive line that I don't know what that's going to be. Good luck.